Hi, it's your favorite chef in the whole world, Yeti Tabai of Yeti's Kitchen, and I sincerely apologize for being away for so long from this channel. Um, yes, life has been happening, and I hope to be back full time. So, in this episode, I'm going to be covering the reasons why you shouldn't join some of the famous delivery platforms that we know about in the UK. We're talking about your typical Just Eat, Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and the rest of them. In this episode, I'll be covering Uber Eats specifically, and other episodes will cover Just Eat and Deliveroo. So, first things first, with Uber Eats, you need to think about the fact that customers leave reviews, and customer is a preview to the fact that we sometimes use Uber Eats delivery drivers. So with Uber Eats, you have the option of using your driver or their driver. If you obviously use your drivers, they come to about 13 to 15% commission per order. If you use their drivers, you're talking about 40 to 45%, including VAT. And you can imagine if you sell an item for around about £10, they'll be taking around about £4.50 per order from you. And that's not the minimum figure. It could go up depending if you have promotions with them. For example, buy one, get one free, or you want to be at the top of the page, then it could skyrocket to around about 60% per order. So be careful before they tell you, why don't you run an offer? When you have that manager call you, don't accept those offers. Read the terms and conditions before you say yes. So back to the initial point that I was making about reviews. So for example, you give a delivery driver an item to deliver. They deliver it, but they've destroyed the packaging, the food's leaking on the side, or the food's cold because the driver decided to go have a fag rather than delivering the food. Or sometimes they do have 2 or 3 pickups all in one bag. So sometimes if they probably go to any of those brands, Burger King, Yeti's Kitchen, and all that stuff, they go to Nando's, they have 3 different delivery company food in their backpack. Of course, the food's going to get cold for your customer by the time it arrives to your customer. So customer will give you a 1-star review saying the food arrived cold, even though you did not give the driver the food cold. The customer will give you a bad review saying that the food was spilled and your packaging is terrible. So those are the kind of things you need to consider before you join them and choose the option to use their drivers. But of course, you can always use your drivers, but remember, your customers will not be able to track the delivery if you use your drivers. And as you can imagine, you wouldn't be at the top of the page in the search function of their website. So choose carefully. And of course, if you're a customer on the Uber Eats website, please have mercy. Have mercy. Don't just give everybody bad reviews because you know that you can just click a button and just be horrible. Be nice. Second thing you have to consider is, before you can make a change on Uber Eats, they would drag you. They will drag you and make sure you pay an arm and not pay, but they will just make the whole process tedious. So for example, if there's a refund request from a customer, they don't alert you. You would have to go and log into Uber Eats yourself to find if there are any refund requests from your customers. Then you respond to the refund request, but that doesn't mean they'll grant your decline. You can decline the refund request, but Uber Eats might still proceed to give the customer a refund. But let's remember, all the customer has to do is take a picture of the food, say they don't like it because it doesn't meet their standards, and they get a refund. So many people that are hungry literally do that. They literally buy food for £40, say they don't like the standards, that they found hair in it. Uber Eats will be like, oh, so sorry about that, give them the food, and then you lose money. So this is the world we live in now. People want free food, people lie, and sometimes some people obviously tell the truth about the quality of the food, but that's something you need to consider, that sometimes the refund request is not something that works in your favor. And then the last thing is, obviously, if you're changing locations, for example, you're moving buildings, it's not the easiest thing to change your address on there. Obviously, they tell you just need to fill in a form, but remember, you still need to let the local authority know that you're changing addresses. And then when you do that, they would not let you change address or continue to make money on their platform except you've got this inspection certificate for your new venue. So you need to think about that. So literally, I would suggest you move, you get your inspection certificate done first, before you actually alert them, or else they will stop you from making money, and you're literally going to be losing money till you can get an inspector to come around. And sometimes before you can get an inspector to come around, it can be at least 2 to 3 months, or sometimes a year, except you want to pay about 75 or 150 to have an inspector come around. So those are the things you need to think about. Let's not talk about the fact that their phone lines are just ridiculous. Of course you can get through to them, but most of the times you just need to speak to them through email, because everybody on the phone is dealing with a current order and they don't want to make it a priority to talk to you about a current issue, Yeah, so sometimes you're there waiting for delivery drivers 30 minutes, your food's getting cold, and they're not delivery drivers sometimes. So those are the kind of things you need to worry about before joining them. And but of course you should think about how you can avoid these issues. And by all means, if you want to learn more about the pitfalls to avoid when joining these platforms, I do host a one-on-one call where I could sit with you and run through your business proposal and just let you know things that you should avoid and how I've survived. We're going to be 6 years now, and we have a second branch in Manchester now. So since the last time we spoke, yes, thank you for your congratulations. We now have a second branch in Manchester. We've grown since the last time I spoke to you, and since the last time I did my last course on this channel. And of course, we are now offering franchise opportunities with Yeti's Kitchen. So if you want to open a Yeti's Kitchen franchise wherever you are in the world, we're open for that conversation. We're also open to help you open your own business as a food business from home or from the high street in the UK. I'll link all of this in the description below. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover in this series about online delivery platforms, or anything else in the restaurant business that you'd like to know. I'm always hoping and happy to help. All the best, take care, and see you next week.